L'Oreal, and this is Sound Advice. In this series, we are illustrating my book, Music Success in 9 Weeks, Volume 2, Version 2, V2. And I have with me the amazing Laura Allen, who chapter 2 of the book is actually based on her amazing website, The 15-Second Pitch. You probably saw her in chapter 2 when we were illustrating those segments. Now we're moving on. This is week 8, Real Live Networking Tips. And the reason why Laura is sitting here is because she and I both know someone who that chapter of the book was written about. His name is Larry Sharpe. And Larry is a real live networking genius.
Yes, he is.
And we're going to go through some key principles of real life networking as taught to both of us by Mr. Larry. And the first thing that Larry always says when you're in a live networking situation, you want to be memorable. And I know you actually have some words of wisdom around this.
Yeah, I think it is all about being memorable, and I actually emailed another marketing and networking genius by the name of Seth Godin, and I said, Seth, why would it be important to have a 15-second pitch at a live networking event? And he emailed me back and he said, if you're not remarkable, you're invisible. And I've always thought about that, and I think back to seeing Larry in action at these networking events, and he makes people very comfortable. He's a great conversationalist. He's a great listener, and I think that's what people need to think about. I think you have a great quote about that.
Yeah, the quote is, the more you listen, the more memorable you are. So the more they talk, the more memorable you are.
Right.
And why is that? Because you let someone share about who they are and what they're up to, or whatever it is, and you just listen with empathy and be a bit quiet, they'll begin to bond with you.
Right.
So that's sort of the first tip. That is the first tip. It is be memorable. And I think the problem and how we've all been taught to market ourselves, especially bands in the indie scene, is like you're trying to get your word out there, like maybe you're putting a flyer in someone's face, or you're blasting an email blast out on MySpace or Facebook, and you're not listening. That's another reason why I see bands falling down in social media, because it's all about a two-way conversation, and bands are having a one-way communication. And so listening is just a simple key, and it's our #1 tip for real live networking tips.
Yes, I think it's a good one.
Number 2, business cards.
Ugh.
If you are above the age of 18 and you do not have a business card, it's time to get one.
Yeah, absolutely. Go without food if you need to. I always hear that, oh, I don't have money for business cards. If you don't have money for business cards, you're not serious. That's what you're saying to the person.
Or you can get them for free at vistaprint.com. But yeah, absolutely. And then we were talking about cards. We love Moo cards, which they're a little bit expensive from Flickr if you look on the website. They're little photo cards, which are very memorable. So let's talk a little bit about business cards, why you should have one, what's the best protocol, and then I think Larry also talks about the buying and selling aspect.
Right. You really want to get their business card, because then you can get in contact with them. You really don't want to be the pushy, outrageous salesperson trying to give your card to everybody at the event. Nobody likes that. Everybody loves to buy, but nobody wants that hard sell, used car salesman, icky feeling. So it's really all about being comfortable. Get their card. Everybody wants to give you their card.
That's true.
Don't push it on people.
Right.
Though.
Let them push it on you. I totally agree with that. The other thing is, if someone, what I find is I don't usually offer my business card, because if someone asks for it, again, that's the buying and selling paradigm. So after you've had a nice exchange with someone, you've listened to them, you've paid attention, you're getting into a two-way conversation, they will 9 times out of 10 say, oh, do you have a card? And that's when it's a really good time to give a card.
Right. Then they want it because they've asked for it.
That's right. So you've got your piles of cards, and now in live networking, it's your turn. It's your turn, and this is how you're going to position yourself when you're following up. So Larry always has these wonderful tips where he says, you never want to follow up with someone and pitch yourself.
Right.
Again, you want to continue this two-way exchange of, hey Laura, it was so nice to meet you at the party. Weren't those little pigs in the blankets delicious? you know, you don't have to go and like ram it down their throat. Even if you do have a reason for wanting to communicate, maybe you want to get a gig, or you want to ask them for something, first start with just building email rapport.
Right. I always set it up when I'm in the moment with the person. Let's get together for coffee. Let's get together for lunch. Let's talk about this on the phone. Then they know why I'm sending that email and why I'm following up. I don't have that awkward moment of, oh, do you remember 3 weeks ago we met at this networking event, and they're really not remembering. I make a point of having something to do or say right in the moment when I meet them. So you know what I'm going to be following up with you about.
Excellent, excellent. And then the other thing I would say about the follow-up is the time frame. The very next day, friend them on Facebook, send a little note, hit them on Twitter if you can find them there. It's okay, but it's got to be quick on the draw. So you don't want to wait 3 weeks. That's terrible. You want to, the next day, while the iron is still hot.
Right. Strike while the iron is hot.
There you go. So that wraps up our 3 networking tips. This is week 8 with Music Success in 9 Weeks. This is Laura Allen. Thanks for being here, Laura.
Thank you.